All right. And we are back. Let's transition a little bit here, Spencer. Let's talk about maybe the arrival of the season with Will Levis taking over
Perhaps,
for Ryan Tannehill.
perhaps.
Uh, that's the smart thing to do, in my opinion. Um, Taking on the Atlanta Falcons. My parents actually went to this game, Spencer,
That's what
as I
you
told
told
you
me.
before, and I was telling my dad, I was like, what a game to go to, because I think Will Levis is going to premiere in this game, and I think you're going to like what you see from Will Levis. I have never been more
You
happy
had
to
a
be right. What a
good
phenomenal
call.
game to yeah, to go see. Um, so yeah, let's kick it off here. What did you think, Spencer? You sent me some clips on this one, but just how did you think this game went? What were some of the keys to victory? And what did you think about the debut of one Will
Let's start right
Levis?
there. Let's start right there. I mean, Will Levis
Absolutely,
in his debut, they gave this man the green light. I mean, I don't
might as
know if that
well.
was even the game plan coming in, frankly. I think they just liked what they saw. And
Hmm.
and you want more of it, right? I mean,
Go do it again, and then he did it four
exactly.
times.
And it's important to mention here. I have a lot of respect for what Atlanta's doing defensively. Um, it appears, based on the results of this game, that the Jeff Okuda experiment is not going well. Um, you know, I believe he was responsible for some of these deep touchdowns in this game. Um, yeah, not the best game from him, but we know what kind of corner AJ Terrell is. Definitely one of the best at his position out there. He's fighting an uphill battle. I will admit, the last few years specifically, with just not a lot of surrounding talent. But again, the Falcons are a different team this year. They had a great free agency. They had good draft picks. They bring in Jesse Bates, for God's sake, the number one, the number we are
Right,
the number one stands for Jesse Bates, and not his best game either,
my
truthfully.
man,
But
gone but not
yeah,
forgotten.
no, but between the secondary talent, you would have expected a better performance, frankly, against a first start from Will Levis. But at the end of the day, like I said, green light. Uh, Levis throws the ball 29 times in his first game as a Tennessee Titan. Goes for 238, respectable yards total for your first start, 4 touchdowns, unbelievable. Um,
With Spencer, I just want to
mhm.
mention at the beginning of this game, they were platooning with Malik and Will Levis. So this was 29 attempts after they were sort of platooning. Then there was that big bomb to D Hop. I think they brought in Willis for maybe one or two plays after that. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God, this guy just unlocked your offense. Will Levis just unlocked your offense. Why are you trotting out Malik
Take
Willis right now,
Malik
my guy? What
Willis
are you
off the
thinking?
field. Good and gracious. And
They eventually did, and he still managed to rack up 30
and
pass
we
attempts. So
lamented.
that was the 30 pass attempts with the
I
platooning.
lamented last week, Ryan. Again, I have not been I have not been a fan of what the Tennessee Titans plan has been here. I've been a major critic of them throughout the season. I'll own up to it. Um, but it's hard to deny what Will Levis was able to accomplish in this game. I mean, let's remind ourselves, right? They're not dealing with this vast assortment of weaponry on offense from a receiving perspective at all. That's got to be an understatement, frankly, what I just said. But on only
Right.
4 receptions, DeAndre Hopkins turns back the clock, goes for 128 on a 32-yard average per catch, 3 touchdowns. The
Ridiculous.
the okay at receiver, but not a stunning jaw dropping talent by any means, in my opinion. With Westbrook Akine does get himself a touchdown, and boy was it a beautiful one. We'll get to that in a moment. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, they did a great job remaining balanced despite being blown away with what Levis was accomplishing here. I think the success that Derrick Henry was finding on the ground was setting up a lot of these deep shots as well. Derrick Henry was a handful in this game, doing Derrick Henry things. It's amazing what happens when you give him the ball consistently. 22 carries for
Well, and
100.
not only 100%, not only that, but like just what Will Levis can do for your offense for unlocking all of your talent. When he entered that game, D Hop looked like a completely different player. When you're able to bomb the field, bomb the ball down the field like that, then all of a sudden you don't have as many people stacked in the box to stop Derrick Henry. Even when you do want to run it with Derrick Henry, it's just really incredible, like the wonders that were able to open up for this Titans offense that looked competent. When they all of a sudden had a quarterback that could slang that thing. Also, I just wanted to point out there was like a clip even that I was going to send you, not for the show, but just separately, that I am at my limit with Arthur Smith. Okay. There was a moment in the first half of the game where he just seems to me to be running the offense in a way that he wants it to be something that it's not. There was that one very weird play in the red zone where they're just getting way too cute with it. It was like a 2 or even a 3 tight end set. I think they had 3 tight ends in on this play, where there was like the tight end 3 was throwing to the tight end 2, and Kyle Pitts, the highest drafted tight end ever. I maybe include the tweet where I saw this because it just blew my mind. Why? He was lead blocking. Kyle Pitts is lead blocking. You're on the like 2-yard line. Fine, run a 2 or 3 tight end set. Give it to Bijan Robinson. Let him pound the rock. What are we missing here? Why are we trying all of this weird trickery? Get points on the board. Use your players the way they're supposed to be used. I'm just at my wit's end. I just don't really understand what the vision is here. This, to me, as a Saints fan, I love to be saying this. This is not a team that can win this division. When you're running an offense like this and you're clearly just incapable or you're unwilling to use your assets in the best way possible, really frustrating.
That's fair, Ryan. I will push back a tad, although I think I generally agree with you that the deployment of their personnel has been puzzling, to say the least. Not really, putting the guys in positions to succeed, things that they're good at. I mean, Kyle Pitts, I don't even have to continue the dialogue of his underutilization, but what I will say in defense of Arthur Smith is that it's not like he's exactly had a captain at the helm that he can trust to get the ball to the playmaker.
Ritter's not doing any
Ridder
favors.
I was optimistic about Ridder going into the season, but the turnover problems are just a many with him. If it's not 3 fumbles in a game, it's 3 interceptions in a game. He's just so streaky. And honestly, the ups and downs, the ups have not been worth the downs up to this point. And, Ryan, I think it's a good transition. You had a very strong take about how they should handle the quarterback situation going forward. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Heineke took over this game early in the third quarter. Ridder appeared to be pulled from the game, did not appear to be injured in any way. He had a earpiece on, still had the pads on. So it did appear that he was pulled. This looked like a different team with Heineke at the helm, if I may say so.
You may.
You and I have been Heineke fans prior to the season started. We had a lot to say about him in our breakdown.
Right.
When we were talking about when he did get signed by the Falcons and about his time there in Washington. I think Heineke is a really sort of sneaky start for the Falcons. I think he unlocks a lot of potential for them. It's very much the same way that Will Levis does. Doesn't have the arm that Will Levis does, but I sort of put Heineke and Josh Dobbs maybe in the same situation like we were talking about before. He's not a guy that's going to go out there. Right, exactly. Like you don't have to have a guy like Heineke go out there and win the game for you, but unlike Desmond Ridder, Heineke is not going to go out there and lose the game for you either. He is going to be a guy that's going to give it his all. He's going to put everything he has to win the game out on the line, and I just think that this is the solution moving forward for them to unlock their offense, to make use of Kyle Pitts and of Drake London, who was injured and did not return to this game. I don't know if I have any updates about that. But it was a very back and forth game. There was a really nice Scotty Miller touchdown in the fourth quarter, but not able to overcome just the poise and the power of one Will Levis. You've got some very good clips here to check out on the film. If you want to transition over there, if you don't have anything else, we can get down to
Yeah,
it.
one more thing before you go to the clip, Ryan.
Sure,
I want to say a sentence, and I just want to watch your face as you react to this. What if I
sure,
told
sure.
you in this here football game between the Falcons and the Titans, the lead receiver
Sure.
for the Atlanta Falcons was a man named Kaderil Hodge? 3 receptions for
remember this.
75 yards. Kaderil Hodge, Ryan. What do you think about that?
Everybody, go to your waiver wire right now. Pick up Kaderil
Yes.
Hodge. Don't look at
He's a
anybody
league winner.
else. Pick up Kaderil Hodge. He's an absolute league winner. That's hilarious. I did not realize that.
Boy. Arthur Smith, I love you. I love you
Kaderil
forever,
Hodge.
Arthur Smith. Don't listen to him.
What a fucking dot
Dude.
this play is.
Is this the touchdown? The
Yes.
deep one? All right. Let me just lead it off here. So, setting this up, I mean, the sheer audacity of this throw, Ryan. I want you to know, watching this live, my jaw dropped. There was a ton of great plays and great games this week, but frankly, in terms of individual plays, I don't think I was more stunned by what I saw on this one. I mean, I'm obviously,
watching it back, it just makes me laugh. This is
insane. Ryan, I'm a draft psycho. I analyze the hell out of these guys. I watch a ton of them, as much as I can, especially when you consider Seattle. They could have been in on quarterback. We didn't really know what we had in Geno, truthfully, yet. Will Levis was an option, and I was watching him intently, and I knew he had this kind of arm talent for sure. I mean, the guy's got a cannon, and he's a gamer. I'm using all the superlatives right now, but at the end of the day, he's not afraid to show it off, and he just has confidence that he is gonna hit those throws in those big moments. And yeah, once again, the moment,
the audacity to make this throw, to even try to make this throw. It takes a man who is willing to publicly admit he puts mayonnaise in his coffee to even have the sack to. But
you want to know what I think about that, Ryan? Is the only thing, Ryan, that can beat ketchup is mayonnaise. And
I'm also a mayonnaise boy in my complexion and my condiments.
Patrick Mahomes over there in Kansas City, he loves his ketchup. So maybe this is the kryptonite. We're going to see. I don't know if the Chiefs and Titans play this year, but it's worth noting that there's a duality to those guys. But all right, enough playing around, Ryan. Getting into the play itself.
I want to cut this. Sorry, let me run it back.
Getting it, but enough of that nonsense, right? Getting into the play of itself. I mean, one more time, right? Levis rolls to his right. He's pursued by a defender within steps of him. Not a lot of room to operate.
Two of them.
Just back foot fading away from the defender as they pursue here. Throws across the body.
It's ridiculous.
To the freaking breadbasket. I mean, once again, Westbrook-Ikhine, I mean, he's butt naked on this play. I'll give him that. But I have to say, this was all Will Levis on this throw. Just phenomenal stuff.
100%. I mean, it's got to be such a nightmare, like personnel and scheme wise on the defensive side of the ball. Like, you've already given up 2 massive plays to D-Hop. Like, okay, let's take away D-Hop. But you got Westbrook-Ikhine, who runs this very interesting double move here. He sort of takes it to the inside of the hash, and then sort of starts to fade out this way before cutting it to a true almost.
And credit to him, it's a great route.
100%, it's a great route, and you can even see that just scheme wise, you've got so many people to worry about here. You got Derrick Henry who was hit on the play action, and I just want to let's just pause it here. What are the linebackers doing, my man? Where are we going? Where are we looking? Where's our assignment?
No, they're definitely locked in zone here.
This guy's maybe sort of trying to fade back, but you're trying to fade back to cover D-Hop here. But that's the thing, is that you have the option of D-Hop to take away, and I don't think this corner. I can't tell who this is from this clip, but I don't think that he thinks there's any chance in hell that Levis from here slings a dot to the pylon. That like he's thinking, oh man, thank God that Levis is standing where he's standing because I just got burned by Westbrook
And I
Akine.
think that's something that kind of it goes over the heads of just casual NFL fans. And no disrespect to you guys, you're all welcome on the channel, but I don't think a lot of people really understand how difficult of a throw that is to make. Will Levis has an NFL
There's maybe
arm.
two other quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah, there's maybe two other quarterbacks in the NFL that make this throw.
I mean, there's an argument, no doubt about it. I mean, across your body.
Mahomes can.
It's the
certainly.
combination, Ryan. Again, fading backward, back foot throw across your body for 60 yards. Is this? I mean,
Spencer, do you know what this is? This just reminded me of something. Do you know what this is? This is what Jets fans thought they were getting taking Zach Wilson second overall after the pro day swindle. This is almost the exact throw that Zach Wilson made on his pro day in no pads.
True.
Over there in Utah at BYU. But Will Levis did it at game speed, two guys in his face, off his back foot. This is just a ridiculous throw. And this was for his fourth touchdown of the game.
Yeah, incredible stuff.
The other three of which were also bombs.
Pretty wild. It's early to call it, but Titans may have just found them one with this kid, Will Levis.
100%. I mean, there's no way, there's no shot, I think, going forward that you put Tannehill back out there with just how stagnant and dead that offense felt with Tannehill at the helm. There's no way you have a debut like this and you aren't handed the keys for a week or two. Like, imagine just having a few weeks at practice to get some schemes that you really know what this guy is capable of, and let's try to unlock it a little bit. I just think it's really great stuff. I think it's we talked about this a little bit before. It's probably why we didn't see much action from them here on the day of the trade deadline. There was a lot of people suspecting that Derrick Henry might be on his way out, but I suspect a game like this changes a lot of minds in a lot of expensive suits. So there's certainly that. All right, Spencer, this is the other clip that you sent me here. Great defensive play here. Little sack on Ritter prior to getting pulled. What stood out to you about this? What made you send this to me? What made you want to break it down?
The main reason I wanted to talk about this play, Ryan, is because I think the theme of this episode in a lot of ways has been the impact of a dominant interior defensive lineman. What that does for your defense. Mm-hmm. What can a top 5 D tackle do for you? And not trying to say anybody we've talked about today is that, but I'll tell you one thing: Jeffrey Simmons damn sure is. Jeffrey Simmons here, you can see alongside Arden Key on this play. He's stacked up right in between, the center and the guard here. Watch him penetrate this double team so fast off the snap. So fast. They hardly get a hand on him before he's a full step out of the gap there.
Wow, I didn't watch it very closely. I was getting this prior to filming, but yeah, my God, you're not.
Do you have
kidding.
The backside?
He almost kind of gets a. No,
that's okay. I think I misspoke. He's on the edge here. He's on the edge here.
Yep.
Watch him penetrate in between this tackle and the guard here. Explodes off the snap. Immediately smacks the guard back. The tackle can do nothing. He can't even get a hand on Simmons before he's in the backfield here. And that just frees Arden Key. The easy blitz, just following behind the wreckage. I mean, does it get easier than that for a guy like Arden Key? He's a talented player in his own right, but
no.
I mean, Jeffrey Simmons, we talked about in the breakdown. This guy to me is the best defensive tackle in the entire league right now. Aaron Donald is a wonder, an absolute wonder, but at his advanced age at this point, and the way Jeffrey Simmons is playing, Jeffrey Simmons is smack dab in the middle of his prime right now. there, when I was hearing talks about they were gonna maybe tear this thing down, the first player that came to my main mind was Jeffrey Simmons. Even though he signed that enormous extension, like if the Titans were open for business, Ryan, my first thought was, what wouldn't you give up to bring in a player like Jeffrey Simmons?
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah, especially like even here, like you had Bijan coming around for on the motion. He gives a nice chip. He gives a nice chip to the edge here, and Bijan Robinson, as I'm sure you were all aware, not a small guy. He gives a really nice chip on him, and really just it helps give momentum. And then as 96 comes crashing in here, then Jeffrey Simmons sort of just manhandles this double team. Yeah, it's just really
And
incredible
it's
stuff.
worth. Oh, sorry. Go finish it.
Oh no,
Well, I
go
was
for
just
it.
gonna say, it's worth noting too. I think that's Jake Matthews on the left side there. He is, or
96.
number 70 on the offensive line there. Yeah,
I see.
he's keeping an eye on Arden Key, but he's supposed to be playing a little bit of help with this guard. I mean, there's no situation in which you want your guard to be one-on-one with Jeffrey Simmons, even with, Atlanta has some fantastic guards, some of the best in the game.
Right.
But you never want anybody on an island with Jeffrey Simmons generally, and he makes them pay on this play. I think that it's really underlined by the fact that you think about just how star-studded this offensive line is. For Jeffrey Simmons to come out and make a play like this in a huge moment, I mean, he single-handedly ended this.
100%. I mean, just to speak on how fast he got off the ball, like the guard here, 65. I mean, he's got decent footwork here, right? Like he's got a nice wide base, and he just his other foot is like his right foot as he's stepping back is just a little too slow on one of these kick drops here, and it's over.
Yeah,
it's over. If that's the type of thing, right? Like it doesn't matter if you're the best guard in the world, but if your technique is one kick step too late, Jeffrey Simmons is going to make you pay, and that's exactly what happened. It doesn't matter if you're the best guard in the world. That's just the type of player that Jeffrey Simmons is. And just really great scheme, really great play call, great execution. Great stuff. And Ritter is not the type of guy that is going to recognize this immediately. I mean, to be fair, to his credit, there is a up here. There's like an in here, maybe even a 7. That's open. If he can get this ball out fast enough, it's open. But just how quickly they crash, there's no getting that ball out.
And they got Arden Key on the delayed blitz here, but I mean, I think just the fact that they're able to depend on Jeffrey Simmons to just destroy whatever is in front of him, like they're able to get creative with how they scheme around him. Send guys in his path. When you have just a pure bulldozer, I mean, it's pretty easy to scheme up consistent pressure with what talent you have around him at that point,
For sure. And I'm sorry, I misspoke. This is Drake London that was there at the top of the route, running like just a little bit of a deep hitch, falls down. He is not open. But Spencer, if the survey says there's one guy naked right now, that is a great safety valve right there. A little guy, number 7, named Bijan Robinson. You just got to hit those, especially with pressure in your face. If you can get that ball out, I mean,
that's a whole lot of chaos.
It's too fast.
At Ritter.
It's too fast. Yeah,
I mean, I don't even think you can really tell on film, like up close and personal. That was lightning quick that Jeffrey was in the backfield here. It's hardly any time for him to react at all. Frankly, he's a you want to talk about Halloween? That's a frightening proposition to play a full 4 quarters against Jeffrey Simmons.